Alright, listen. I'm not telling this for views. I wish it was fake. I wish I could laugh it off and say it was just stress, or lack of sleep, or whatever excuse people use to feel safe again. But it's not. And I don't know how long I have before things get worse. So I need to get this out. My grandfather died last winter. Heart attack, they said. Quick, quiet, alone in his chair. That's the version everyone accepted. Easy, clean. But when I stood in that house during the funeral, something felt off. I can't explain it properly. It wasn't just sadness. It felt heavy, like the walls knew something I didn't. I should have listened to that feeling. I shouldn't have moved in. His name was Harold. We weren't close. Not really. He was always distant, kept to himself. Didn't like visitors. Didn't like questions. He lived in that house for almost 40 years. Even when everything around it slowly died out. Neighbors moved, shops closed, fields took over. He stayed, refused to leave. Now I think maybe he wasn't staying. Maybe he was guarding something. The house came to me, not my dad, not anyone else. Me, that didn't make sense. It still doesn't. But rent is insane, and I didn't think too much about it at the time. I just saw a free place to live. God, I was so stupid. The first week felt normal, almost peaceful. Old wooden floors creaking under my weight. That dry smell of dust and old books clinging to everything. At night, the wind slipped through the cracks in the windows and made this low whistling sound, like someone breathing slowly in the dark. It should have scared me, but it didn't. Not then. I cleaned, threw out junk, opened boxes that hadn't been touched in decades. But I avoided the basement. I kept telling myself it was just because it looked dirty, damp, gross, but that wasn't it. Every time I stood near those stairs, my chest felt tight, like my body knew something my brain didn't. Eventually, I forced myself to go down. The stairs creaked under every step, slow, loud, like they were warning me. The light flickered when I turned it on. Not a normal flicker. It struggled, like it didn't want to stay on. And the smell, God, wet concrete, mold, something stale. It made my throat feel thick, like I couldn't swallow properly. That's when I saw it. The phone. It was just sitting there, on a small wooden table. Black rotary phone. Old, heavy. But here's the thing. Everything else in that basement was covered in dust, in sheets, in boxes. The phone wasn't. It looked ready, like someone had placed it there carefully, waiting. I picked it up. I remember thinking, why would he keep this? The cord ran into the wall. No modern connection. Nothing. Dead. It had to be dead. I spun the dial a couple times. Click, click, click. The sound echoed in that empty basement. And for a second, I felt something strange. Like I wasn't alone. I froze. My mind immediately went, no, you're overthinking. Calm down. Then I laughed it off. Get a grip, I told myself. I put it down, walked upstairs, tried to forget about it. At least, I thought I did. The first time it rang, I thought I was dreaming. You know how sounds sneak into dreams? Blend in, like they belong there. That's what I told myself. But the second night, I woke up, fully awake, and my heart was already racing. Because I could hear it, clear, loud, roaring. I sat up in bed, my throat dry. My phone was right there, silent, no notifications, no calls. The sound came again, slower this time, heavier, echoing through the house like it was crawling through the walls. My fingers felt cold. I remember thinking, no, that's not possible. But I got up anyway, barefoot, My legs felt weak, like they didn't want to move. I followed the sound. Down the hallway, the house was dark except for a thin strip of moonlight cutting across the floor. The ringing got louder. My chest tightened. And then I realized the basement. I stopped at the top of the stairs. I didn't go down immediately. I just stood there, listening. The smell crept up again. Damp, rotting. What the hell? I whispered. My voice sounded small. I flipped the light switch. The bulb flickered, and the ringing stopped. Just like that. Complete quiet, like nothing had ever happened. I went back to bed. Told myself it was just old wiring, some weird electrical glitch. Old houses do weird things, right? The next night, 3:14 a.m. exactly. The ringing started again. That's when something inside me shifted, because it wasn't random anymore. It was precise, intentional. My heart started pounding harder. My palms were sweating. I could feel it. Something wasn't right. Third night, same time, 3:14. And I didn't go down. I stayed in bed, pulled the blanket tighter around me like that would help. Don't go. Just ignore it. It'll stop. But it didn't. It kept going, over and over and over. My head started to hurt. My chest felt heavy, like something was sitting on it. I couldn't take it anymore. I got up, angry now, or maybe just scared, and pretending it was anger. I walked downstairs. Each step felt slower, heavier, like I was walking towards something I shouldn't. I turned on the basement light. It flickered, but this time, the ringing didn't stop. It was right there, the phone, shaking slightly with each ring, dust trembling around it. I just stood there, frozen. My fingers started trembling. My throat felt tight. Don't touch it. That thought hit me hard. Don't touch. But I did. I picked it up. The ringing stopped for a moment. Nothing. Then breathing, heavy, uneven, like someone had been running for a long time. My skin went cold. I swallowed. Hello? More breathing. Closer now. And then a voice. My voice. Not similar. Not close. Mine. Exactly mine. But wrong. Older. Tired. Broken. Don't hang up. My grip tightened so hard my fingers hurt. I couldn't speak. My mind was racing. No, this isn't real. This can't be real. But deep down, I knew.